Welcome back, boys and girls, guys and germs. Today we're going to be working on this Cadet XT1 Enduro series. And the problem we're having with this is this mechanism back here, the blade engagement mechanism on the frame back here. It actually goes up here, the manual PTO. And let me show you what's happening. So stay tuned. All right, everybody. So here's the situation. If you've ever worked on one of these Cadet XT1s where the manual PTO rod, this one here with the crazy bend in it, and it goes down and pushes on the safety switch, you know, to let the blade engagement safety switch. And this thing is just plastic. It's in two pieces. Well, now it's in three pieces because that ear broke off. And this part here, it opens up, well, it should anyway. They actually call this a bearing or a bushing. So it comes in two pieces. Each piece is $10 if you try to order one online. So I ordered the top piece that broke off, and that's it right there. If I remember, I'll put the part number in the description. Or in the, down in the description. But I got a wild hair, and I thought, well, what if I built a metal plate like this? It's 2.5 inches square and runs along the edge of the frame, which is right here, the edge of that frame, where this would normally slide into those grooves. And if I welded that plate on there and then put a sleeve over this part here, so there would be no more plastic involved. So I went ahead and cut this bushing, or this spacer, to 1.25 inches long, like this says here, and I'm going to try to bend it open so I can get that shaft in there and then pinch it back closed. I'm going to make a plate 2.5 inches square, and I'm going to weld this to where I've indicated the centers are. I'm going to weld it to the frame. And hang on a second and I'll show you where it goes. All right, everybody. As you can see, I've already beefed up this frame several times with some angle iron because it was splitting down here, and it was every time he'd engage or try to drive forward and backwards, the transmission was tilting this way like this and letting the belt slip off. So I put all this angle iron in here. I don't know if you can see there or not. That light's kind of bright. But I put some gussets in there and welded some angle iron and bolted it on there. It hasn't moved since. And that's been several years ago. But anyway, this mechanism right here, this silly little thing, slides in these grooves, and that's the locating hole to keep it, centered this direction. And that's where your manual PTO arm goes through and activates the blades. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the plastic crap, and when I get that plate ready, this is actually going to be in here like this and welded in there on that plate, allowing that thing to move and quit flexing, because whenever you push that arm down, these tabs were bending and the plastic broke across here, and the locator here was, that plastic was just gone. That tab broke off, and it was allowing this to do this, sideways, which was bending these. So that plate is going to go around here with this sleeve in the middle around that arm. So that's what we're doing. So I'll bring you back whenever I make some progress. Stay tuned. Excuse me. Okay, so I got this bushing collar on here. I had to split it down the center, spread it open, and then bend it back around here. And then this is going to get welded into the plate. So, hang on. Okay. So, here is the plate that I made. I had to cut a notch out of it completely. I'll put that little piece back in there, but this bushing gets welded in here like so, like nice and square, and then that little piece will get put back in there, and then this will rotate like that. So bear with me, let's see how it goes. Okay folks, I got that all welded up. It's not the prettiest, but this is essentially what we're creating. This is a place that this plate's going to get welded on a frame in there, and that's going to allow this to rotate up and away from the safety switch, and to pull on the deck engagement cable that goes down and under the transmission. So in theory, we're doing away with this plastic piece of junk. This is greasable, you know, and hopefully it will do the job. If not, we'll cut it out and find some other way to do it. I'm going to put a gusset, try to put a gusset right here. Keep it from moving around too much. We'll see. All right, everybody. That is where the plate is going to go. Now, you can see how this is going to move. I got some manipulating to do on this piece here. It's pretty much bent up, but I'm going to get this welded around here. And no, I did not plan it, but that bolt hole that was already in that plate lined up perfectly. So, guess where that's going to live? All right, I'm going to get this welded in, and I'll bring you back. All right, got her all in there, getting ready to burn it in. I forgot to tell you all one public safety announcement. Unless you like getting hot embers melting through your shoes and socks down between your toes, make sure you get some of these dudes. Makes a big difference. Be safe. All right, I got all that burnt in, and for those of you who don't know where that's at, it's up underneath the here above the rear wheel, and so that's gonna let this operate again without, because of that gusset I put in there, it's not gonna have any movement this direction. So all I gotta do now is put the spring back on and get this rod here bent out a little bit so it catches in there, so it catches in here. This part of the shaft right here needs to be bent because it's been, over time it got bent towards me, so I just need to bend it out towards the driver a little bit. And for those of you who don't know what that's doing, that engages your blades and disengages your blades. And also inside here, oh gosh, let me see if I can get you in here. All right, it's a tough shot to get. Well, let's see. Let me actually put you in here. See if that gets it. All right. That thing you see there at the bottom is the safety switch. All right. So that tells you that the blades are disengaged, and this, when you move that lever forward, it opens that up. So that's really what that does. All right. So then that'll allow you to start the mower because the blades are disengaged, and then that engages the blades back, So that's really, once I get all the springs back on, this will work. This should get pulled down like this and stay like that until you engage the blades. So bear with me, and I'll bring you back. All right, we're going back in, gang. All right. So I got that cable hooked back up, and that's the cable that connects to the deck. That engages the deck down there. So, alright, and it helps pull this lever back as well. As you can see, that safety switch is being depressed. It needs to be happier, but right now it's depressed. So I got one more spring to put on, and I'll show you my trick for that. Let's see, we're going to grab our small fuel line pliers, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with one hand or not, but there's a notch right here, and this spring has to go in there. See that spring? So I'm going to try to do this with one hand. Alright, see if I can hold on to you. Okay, so here we are. The last thing I had to do was put this spring back on here. And if you've never done this, use the smallest pair of fuel line pliers you got, and you can just go like this. Watch. See how I've got that spring off? I'm just going to pull it down. I pulled it down with the other hand, and it slides right in, and then you can just let go of it. So in this application, it works great. So as you can see, blades engaged, J-hook's locked in, up underneath here, right there. The new blade spring, or the engagement spring. Disc engage it, spring pulls it back, sets the safety switch, and we are set. All I gotta do is put the handle back on, and we're good to go. All right, there it is, all rebuilt. And if you haven't been over to check out Derek over at Vice Grip Garage, go ahead and do that. You can go over there and get yourself some of this Vice Grip Garage black rebuild paint. That thing looks almost new, like it never happened. All right, see you later. All right, I got this scalp wheel back on, and I figured since while I'm under here, I can go ahead and check the blades. There's the back side of my weld, kind of ugly, but it's under here. So these blades are within a 1/16 of each other. Spin this one around. Same thing, 1/16. Bring this other one around. Yeah, I'd say they're just a 1/16 off. Can't see that from where I sit. Nice and flush there, 1/16. All right, well, I hope PJ likes this one. It's a good fix. Hopefully he'll be able to keep this thing alive for a while. So until next time, see y'all later.
It has been a pleasure having you all here. Please don't forget to give this video a like, and please subscribe. Last but not least, click the notification bell so you will know when new videos are posted. Thanks to all of you for your support.